everyone, welcome to Mimi's Country Cooking. Today we're going to be making a cameo cake, and if there was ever a cake that's irresistible, rich and creamy, it's this one. Back in the Victorian days, this was what they often used for their wedding cakes, and it looks and tastes like you've spent hours in the kitchen, but you really haven't. You don't even need a mixer for the cake part. And to start off with, we are going to be adding 3 sticks of butter. And that sounds like a lot, but it's going to make this cake good. Okay, to this we're going to add 3/4 cup of water. And what we're going to do is we're going to melt this over medium heat. And once it's melted, then we're going to break up our chocolate bar. We need 1 4-ounce, this is 4.4. And make sure you use a good brand. There's different brands there, but you want a real good white chocolate. So once this has melted, then we'll take it off the heat and add our chocolate to it. So let's go ahead and get started heating this up. Okay, you can see that it's melted. And so we're going to bring it over here. Now it's time to add our chocolate. I've already broken it up in pieces here. Okay. So let's stir this until the chocolate has melted. All right, you see that our chocolate has melted. Now we're going to add 1.5 cups of buttermilk. Stir that around. We're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Now it's time to add our 4 eggs, and we need to beat them just a little bit. Give them a little beat here, just slightly beaten. Okay, now it's time to add that to our butter and chocolate mixture. We're going to stir that around. And then we're just going to set this aside for now. I have 1 cup of toasted pecans, or pecans as some folks call them. You do need to toast them, and that's easy to do. Just put them in a cast iron skillet, and sometimes I put a little butter on the top of the stove till they're toasted, or you can do it in the oven. But we need 1 cup of toasted pecans and 1/2 cup of flour. And we're just going to stir that around. These toasted pecans and that white chocolate, they just go together so good. You're going to love it. And we'll set that aside. All right, now it's time for us to add our flour and sugar. And I have 3 cups of flour, plain flour. And then I have 2 cups and 1/4 of sugar. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of that. And we're just going to stir this together. Now it's time to add our butter and chocolate mixture slowly. We'll do a little bit at a time. Smells good. You can smell that butter and that white chocolate. Now that we have all of our butter and chocolate mixture in there, we're going to make sure we stir it well. This will be a thin cake batter. Now we need to add our 1 cup of toasted pecans that we mixed with a 1/2 cup of flour. So I've preheated my oven to 350 and we'll be baking it for about 20 to 25 minutes. And I already have my cake pans, 3 of them sprayed with Baker's Joy. I'll bring those over here. Get it evenly in each cake pan there. Right now I'm going to stick these into the oven, and once they come out and have cooled, I'll be back to show you what they look like, and then we're going to make a white chocolate frosting to go on it. So be right back. All right, folks, we're back. You can see my cakes are out of the oven and they've been cooling. And how many of you remember these old beaters? I can't remember if this was my grandmother's or maybe my mom's, but we're not going to use that today. That it might be good for beating eggs, but I don't know how well it would do on our frosting. But we are, for our cream cheese white chocolate frosting, we are going to use our stand mixer. And to start off with, we need to melt another 4 ounces. This is 4 ounces. Over low heat, and once we get that melted, then we're going to let it cool for about maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll be back and I'll show you about the rest of the ingredients. All right, you can see that I've melted my white chocolate over low heat, and we're going to let that cool just for about 10 minutes. All right, now that our chocolate has cooled for about 10 minutes, we are going to go ahead and beat our cream cheese and butter. And I have 1 block, 8 ounces of cream cheese, and then I need 3 ounces of another. Then we need 5 tablespoons of butter. And this is softened. So we're going to beat this together until it's creamy. Right, now we're going to gradually add our melted white chocolate in there. Adding 6 cups of sifted sugar, powdered sugar. And I'll scrape the sides down there. Let's finish beating it. Let's scrape the sides down. And I'm going finish mixing it, and then we'll get ready to frost our cakes. This icing smells so good. We're gonna go ahead and frost our first layer. Look how pretty and moist the cake is. And this makes about 5 cups of frosting. It makes a tall cake too. Now it's time for our top layer. You can see those chopped toasted nuts there. This cake's really good. Okay, you can see that 5 cups of icing or frosting was just enough to cover it. And then if you want to, you can leave it smooth, go around and smooth it, or I like to make it a little fancy and just go and do the top like that. And my grandson is anxiously waiting to try this cake, so we're gonna let him be our taste tester. Let's see which side. This is my sweet grandson, Jackson. He's been helping me film this tonight. What do you think? Is this good? What's your favorite part?
The icing is very good, and I love the cake as well.
So I think this is a keeper, don't you?
I agree.
Thanks so much for watching, and give this cake a try. Let me know if you like it, and I just hope you have a blessed day. And remember, life's too short. You need to find something you enjoy doing and do it a lot. So till next time, goodbye.